Lindstrom, an attorney here in town, and Brian Foster as well. Both spent a lot of time in the courtroom. Let's start with you, Brian. The prosecution, man, they got a lot going for them in this case, don't they?
I tell you what, it's a good case from a prosecution standpoint. They've got a man who is naked in the shower, who is murdered by a woman who just happens to have a knife and a gun in her possession. They've got to prove premeditation, and they've got to get a unanimous jury verdict, but I think it's a pretty strong case, at least from the outside looking in.
And they've got pictures, and they got whatever. I mean, how do you defend something like this, Monica?
Well, there's no doubt that she did it, and the defense is not saying that she didn't do it. They're going to be going from a domestic violence standpoint and talking about what her motivation was, and that since she was an abused lover and the domestic violence was so strong in the relationship, that this is what motivated her. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of testimony about her maybe stepping outside of herself and doing something like this, not recalling everything, or even something akin to the battered woman syndrome that you hear about oftentimes, where the women, they just get so frustrated and angry, and finally they just snap and things happen. So that's where the defense is going to be going.
Let me jump in here, because I hear that, and you've got this whole self-defense thing. I mean, that's the hand that they've got to play.
Right.
But you're looking at it from the perspective of the outsider, and you're saying, well, this is a woman who's a scorned lover, who somehow feels victimized by a naked man in the shower and just happens to have a gun and a knife in her possession.
That is pretty tough. I mean, the guy is sitting
tough.
there soaping up, and she wasn't being abused at that moment, was she? I mean,
right, she wasn't. And it's tough, no doubt, for this defense, but the whole crux of the defense is that she's been abused and just treated so horribly for so long that the one moment that she has the freedom, so to speak, to get one up on him or protect herself, she takes that moment. Do I think that it was extreme? Absolutely. I think the defense is extremely tough to prove, but it'll be interesting.
And we'll be watching it all the way through. I appreciate it. Brian, Monica, thank you so much, and you guys will be appearing with us throughout the trial. Thanks again. John?
Thank you.